Do you think your favorite celebs are happy about the results of their plastic surgery, or do they deeply regret it? As you'll soon come to find out, it's a mix. You won't believe what some of them have to say. While just about every member of the Kardashian-Jenner family has been the subject of plastic surgery rumors, not everyone has been prepared to admit if they have or haven't gone under the knife. Occasionally, one of the family members gets comfortable enough to own up to the truth, which was the case in June 2021 when Khloé Kardashian revealed on the Keeping Up with the Kardashians reunion special that she had a nose job. During the interview, Kardashian explained that no one has ever specifically asked her if she's had work done on her nose until filming for the reunion special began, before adding,
"Everyone says, oh my gosh, she's had her third face transplant, but I've had one nose job, Dr. Raj Kanodia."
Kardashian went on to share that she's had injections done as well, though denies that those injections were Botox. She said she's done injections, but tried to avoid Botox because of poor responses to it. Kourtney Kardashian is another member of the Kardashian family that's been open about her cosmetic procedures. In a 2010 interview with ABC's Nightline, she spoke about the breast augmentation she'd done years before. She approached the topic with her signature breezy attitude, explaining, "I have had breast implants, but it's so funny because it's not a secret. I could care less." Kardashian even went on to poke fun at photographs of her following the birth of her first child, Mason. In the interview, she explained that having a baby and breastfeeding him has done more for her body than surgery did, joking, "They should have written before Mason and after Mason. Like, my boobs have tripled since breastfeeding." However, Kardashian reportedly came to regret the choice to undergo the surgery at some point, as she told Showbiz Spy in 2011. She explained, "I had my boobs done, but if I could go back, I wouldn't have done it. I was so cute before." Thought we were done with the Kardashian family? Think again. Turns out, Kris Jenner has had plastic surgery in the past too. Kim Kardashian was preparing to marry Kris Humphries in 2011 when her mother made the decision to get a facelift before the big day, and to have the procedure filmed and shared on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. At the time, Jenner seemed fairly terrified of the procedure, telling the cameras,
"I've never had such a stressful morning, honestly, in my entire life."
After Kris broke down and started to cry, Kim reassured her mother, telling her not to be scared. Ultimately, she went through with it, and it was filmed for all to see. This isn't the only procedure she's had. In a 2015 appearance on Good Work, Jenner shared that she's dabbled in quite a bit, admitting she's had Botox, fillers, laser treatments, and breast augmentation. If there's one celebrity that's been only too happy to be honest about the plastic surgery she's had done, it's country music legend Dolly Parton. In a 2011 interview with The Guardian, Parton candidly explained that she's no stranger to going under the knife, saying, "If something is bagging, sagging, or dragging, I'll tuck it, suck it, or pluck it." In 2014, Parton told Southern Living that she based her outward appearance on a person the magazine described as her town's trollop. Parton explained that she's had quite a bit of work done for one reason. As she put it, "I was not a natural beauty, and I always wanted to be pretty. I just have such an outgoing personality that it's fitting that I would be overdone." Years later, Parton's surgeon, Dr. John Grossman, visited Today and chatted in part about the work he's done for the singer. As he told the audience, Parton has undergone a breast augmentation and several face augmentations. Cardi B and Mariah Carey engaged in a detailed and lively interview back in February 2021. Among other things, the two discussed plastic surgery and hair care for Interview magazine, and Cardi B opened up in a big way about what work she's had done and why. After admitting that she had a lot of insecurity about her breast size, Cardi revealed to Carey that she paid for her own breast augmentation when she was 18. But that wasn't enough, as she began to worry about the size of her butt as well. She admitted, "When I was 20, I went to the urban strip club, and in the urban strip clubs, you have to have a big butt, so I felt insecure about that. It took me back to high school, so I got my ass done. And then I felt super confident." How did she go about it? She underwent a series of illegal injections until she achieved the desired outcome, as she explained to DJ Vlad in 2017.
"And then almost every girl was going to this lady that was getting the shots in Queens, and it's like, well, give me her number."
There are a lot of rumors out there that Katy Perry has undergone several procedures, and the singer does admit that keeping things fresh is important to her. She told Refinery29, "Trying a new haircut or beauty regimen or style, that's just fun. It keeps me interested." However, that doesn't mean that she has actually surgically altered her body, despite what you might hear. She explained, "I haven't had any surgery. I've done lasers and got filler injections under my eyes for the hollowing, which I'd recommend for everyone who wants a solution for their dark circles, but all of my assets are real." This doesn't mean that Perry doesn't support those who do get plastic surgery. She went on to explain that she believes if changing their body makes someone feel good, then that's all the more reason why they should do it. As she said, "Do whatever makes you feel better about yourself. Stay in therapy, but get it, girl." In 2019, Yolanda Hadid celebrated her 55th birthday by revealing that she has undone all of the plastic surgery she's undergone throughout the years. Hadid shared the update on Instagram, offering a lengthy caption that read in part, "Living in a body free of breast implants, fillers, Botox, extensions, and all the I thought I needed in order to keep up with what society conditioned me to believe what a sexy woman should look like until the toxicity of it all almost killed me." Hadid went on to explain that despite the bad choices she made in the past, she has finally reached a point where she feels internally and externally beautiful at the same time, and that celebrating the beauty each of us has is really the key to a long, happy life. As she puts it at the end of her post, beauty has no meaning without your health. Supermodel Bella Hadid has followed in the famous footsteps of her mother Yolanda and her sister Gigi, both of whom have also worked as models. As a famous face, Bella has been up against a lot of pressure to change aspects of how she looks. In a March 2022 interview with Vogue, Bella revealed that she regrets one of the times that she gave in and got a nose job at the age of 14. While referencing her father's Palestinian heritage, Bella shared, "I wish I had kept the nose of my ancestors. I think I would have grown into it." Though this is the only procedure that Bella has admitted to, there are still plenty of rumors that she's had a lot of work done on her face. She said, "People think I fully messed with my face because of one picture of me as a teenager looking puffy. I'm pretty sure you don't look the same now as you did at 13, right?" As for those who believe the young model has had a facelift, she revealed her secret, facial tape. As she put it, "It's the oldest trick in the book." Who doesn't know the Big Bang Theory star Kaley Cuoco by now, even if you've never watched the show?
Oh, I didn't tell you? You're banished from the Cheesecake Factory.
Turns out, she's no stranger to plastic surgery or talking about the work she's had done on her body. In a candid interview with Women's Health, she explained that she's focused on her physical form and health, and that she has a pretty serious workout regimen, and that she's had work done on her face and her breasts. After admitting that she underwent a nose job years before the interview, Cuoco added, "And my boobs, best thing I ever did." In addition to those two surgeries, Cuoco confessed that she's also had filler done on her neck. She explained, "Recently, I had a filler in a line in my neck I've had since I was 12. As much as you want to love your inner self, I'm sorry, you also want to look good." Supermodel Cindy Crawford is no stranger to the pressure that many women can feel to have their outward appearance meet the standards set by others. And in an interview with InStyle UK, Crawford revealed that she has a cosmetic surgeon who helps keep her skin and body looking the way she wants it to. As she puts it, "This is all part of aging in the public eye." Crawford said, "I'm not going to lie to myself. Past a certain age, creams work on the texture of your skin, but in order to restore elasticity, all I can really count on is vitamin injections, Botox, and collagen." Crawford was quick to add that her healthy lifestyle also contributes to keeping her face and body young, explaining that a combination of diet and exercise has done a lot for her. But in the end, she admitted, "I owe the quality of my skin to my cosmetic surgeon." Model and foodie Chrissy Teigen is a celebrity that can generally be counted on to be pretty transparent when it comes to pretty much anything.
What's your biggest fear?
Dying a slow, agonizing death.
This goes double for the truth about the plastic surgery she's gone through with. While speaking to Refinery 29 in 2017, she shared that not only has she undergone liposuction, but she's also been very happy about it. Teigen explained that she has had 2 inches sucked out of her armpit and didn't regret a single thing, adding, "It was the dumbest, stupidest thing I've ever done. The dumbest, but I like it. Whatever. I have no regrets, honestly." Teigen has also been open about the fact that she's had her breasts augmented and that she eventually had her implants removed. While speaking to Glamour UK, she explained that the decision to get implants was based on her work as a swimsuit model over 2 decades ago, adding, "It was more for a swimsuit thing. I thought if I'm going to be posing laid on my back, I want them to be perky." Teigen opted to have the implants removed many years later, offering up a characteristically candid explanation. She wrote in an Instagram post, "They've been great to me for many years, but I'm just over it. I'd like to be able to zip a dress in my size, lay on my belly with pure comfort." In October 2021, actor Jamie Lee Curtis blew the lid off her own plastic surgery experiences when she told the UK morning show Lorraine that absolutely none of it works, or at least not for her. Curtis admitted to getting quite a lot of work done before she says that her own mistakes with plastic surgeries have helped her become more passionate about aging naturally. The actress confessed,
"I did plastic surgery, it didn't work. I hated it."
Curtis also explained that this attitude extends to her signature short hairstyle, though it took her time to accept the look as the best one for her. In fact, once she stopped making changes to her hair, she began to appreciate not making changes to her body. She explained,
"Since then, I also stopped dyeing it, and then I've also been an advocate for not with your face."
Iggy Azalea's willingness to discuss her past cosmetic procedures dates back to at least 2015, when she spoke openly to 17 about the importance of accepting ourselves as we are. After setting off rumors that she'd done something to her face in May of the same year, Azalea told the publication that she had a nose job and that this wasn't all she'd had done. In addition to the rhinoplasty, Azalea had undergone a breast augmentation. She doesn't regret either choice, telling 17, "I don't think you should be ashamed if you made a change to yourself, which is why I've spoken about the changes I've made, like with my breasts." However, Azalea believes that plastic surgery shouldn't be taken lightly, as she went on to explain she only decided to move forward with her procedures after doing her own research online. She also told the magazine that she believes there are a lot of emotions behind making the decision to change your body, saying, "It's no easy feat to live with your flaws and accept yourself, and it's no easy feat to change yourself. Either way you look at it, it's a tough journey." In March 2018, Tyra Banks had big words for anyone who is, in her words, a natural beauty. While speaking to People, Banks explained why, saying, "Natural beauty is unfair. I get really uncomfortable when women who are these natural beauties judge anybody who does anything to themselves." This led her to confess to her past cosmetic procedures and why she had them done. After saying that the bones in her nose were growing and itching, she admitted, "I could breathe fine, but I added cosmetic surgery. I admit it, fake hair, and I did my nose. I feel I have a responsibility to tell the truth." Banks then emphasized that while she appreciates the no makeup aesthetic, it's not one for her. For starters, makeup is just another tool that she needs to do her job as a model and entertainer. As she put it, wearing makeup helped make her competitive within the cutthroat appearance-based world of supermodels, and she doesn't regret a thing. Nene Leakes didn't shy away from admitting what plastic surgery she's undergone while filming The Real Housewives of Atlanta. In November 2010, she opened up about the various procedures she pursued, which included rhinoplasty to narrow her nostrils. While some fans didn't like the look, Leakes told People that she did, explaining, "I love what I did. I didn't want to change my looks. I wanted to look like the black woman I am, only a better version." Leakes went on to detail the additional work she's had done, including getting smaller implants and a breast lift at the same time, and adding on liposuction at her waist. While plastic surgery isn't for everyone, Leakes told People that she is thrilled with the results. She gushed, "My curves look very nice in tight dresses. I couldn't be happier." While being interviewed on the Wendy Williams show 9 years later, Leakes owned up to being willing to go under the knife again, telling the host,
"I would do my boobs again.
Okay.
Like keep my implants and move my tissue around."
But that's not all. She also said she would get another nose job too. However, when asked if she would get a facelift, she declined, saying, "That's too much." Sharon Osbourne has always been open about her past cosmetic procedures. Take, for instance, her appearance on Dr. Phil back in 2006. During the interview, she admitted to a facelift, 2 breast augmentations, neck work, and more.
Arms cut and lipoed, legs lifted and lipoed, tummy tuck.
She even confessed to having buttock implants after that. However, she has gotten even more honest about it as the years have gone on, especially when it comes to the harsh realities of these surgeries. In an April 2022 episode of her Talk TV show, she admitted that her facelift left a lot to be desired. In fact, Osbourne joked that she had to hold on to her nose or it might otherwise fall off her body. On top of that, she said that the procedure was enormously painful, explaining, "As you get older, believe me, it gets worse, the pain. It was excruciatingly painful." Osbourne went on to defend her choice to get plastic surgery and explained to her co-host that she gets the work done for one person, herself. In fact, she says that her husband Ozzy and her children all dislike the work she has done, but so be it. In February 2022, supermodel Linda Evangelista revealed to People that she had undergone a cosmetic procedure and that the entire experience had backfired in a terrible way. Evangelista explained that she'd opted to undergo CoolSculpting, a type of fat-freezing procedure that is billed as a safer option than liposuction. 3 months after the procedure, she realized that the parts of her body she had attempted to change were now bulging in new ways that devastated her. She was eventually diagnosed with paradoxical adipose hyperplasia, or PAH, a side effect that typically impacts 1% of the people who undergo CoolSculpting. Evangelista has to contend with a lot of side effects from the condition, explaining to People that if she doesn't wear compression garments, the PAH doesn't go away. On top of that, she has to deal with bleeding. She admitted, "If I walk without a girdle and a dress, I will have chafing to the point of almost bleeding, because it's not like soft fat rubbing, it's like hard fat rubbing." The fallout from the procedure has impacted her to the point that the model also admitted to not being willing to look at herself in the mirror. While talking to Jimmy Kimmel in 2014, Courtney Love admitted to undergoing a rhinoplasty early in her career. She explained that she chose to undergo the procedure to help her career after auditioning for a movie and failing to get the role. As she put it,
"Let's just be real, I had a really big nose and that schnoz was not taking me anywhere."
And Sue, you had a nose job.
Yeah, I got my nose fixed.
Love said the results were nearly instantaneous, adding that the whole world changed in the first 6 months after she had the procedure done and never looked back. As she told the talk show host, she has zero regrets. Love was interviewed by Canadian magazine Fashion that same year, where she joked that she didn't want to discuss aging naturally. She then cited another beloved entertainer, saying, "Come on, I took advice from Goldie Hawn when she said I should get a facelift at 35. It's entirely possible Love has had other work done, but this is what she has admitted to publicly." Reality star Heidi Montag began getting work done in 2007. When she was cast on The Hills, she quickly signed up for a nose job and breast augmentation. Montag didn't stop there. By January 2010, she'd undergone a number of procedures that culminated in a 10-hour day and a 7-week recovery period documented by People. In total, she underwent 10 procedures: a mini brow lift, Botox, a new nose job, fat injections, chin reduction, neck liposuction, ear pinning, another breast augmentation, additional liposuction on her mid-region, and buttock augmentation. Montag told People that she decided to do everything at the same time because that's just who she is. As she put it, "That's kind of my personality, everything at once, and I really just wanted to go under anesthesia once, instead of going under again and again." In 2019, Montag spoke about the surgeries in an interview with Cosmopolitan, admitting that she wishes she had waited longer to do them. She said, "I wish I had waited and not made a decision so young because I have long-term health complications." She then added that while she doesn't regret the work, it's important to carefully consider how serious the procedures are before going through with them. She warned, "Plastic surgery isn't something that should be glorified. Take it seriously." Cultural icon Jane Fonda has been open about her choice to go under the knife a number of times. Fonda began modeling in 1959 before moving on to a successful film career in the 60s, and she continues to thrive both on the small and big screen to this day. In an interview with Elle, Fonda was candid about why she made the choice to get plastic surgery throughout her career, and why she'll never do so again. As Fonda put it, "I can't pretend that I'm not vain, but there isn't going to be any more plastic surgery. I'm not going to cut myself up anymore." She then went on to admit that learning to accept herself as she is has become an everyday act for her. And in her 2018 documentary, Jane Fonda in 5 Acts, she lamented,
"I hate the fact that I have had the need to alter myself physically, to feel that I'm okay."
It's clear that Fonda has put a lot of thought into the hows and whys of pursuing plastic surgery. In an interview with The Guardian, she mused that for some reason, trauma might be what drives them to change their physical form. She said, "When I see a woman who's made her face a mask, I say, I bet, I bet." In a revealing interview with Newsweek, Lil Kim opened up about her struggle with self-esteem and how it's impacted the changes she's made to her body. After sharing that dealing with men who have told her she wasn't attractive enough, Kim says that one reason she began undergoing plastic surgery is to transform herself into the type of women those men seem to want. Kim explained, "Guys always cheated on me with women who were European-looking. You know, the long hair type. Really beautiful women that left me thinking, how can I compete with that? Being a regular black girl wasn't good enough." So she underwent a breast augmentation and recalled that the recovery period was the most painful thing she'd ever gone through. But instead of being praised for the choice, she found herself maligned, which was confusing. She explained, "White women get them every day. It was to make me look the way I wanted to look. It's my body." In 2007, Ashlee Tisdale underwent rhinoplasty to help with a deviated septum. Though she didn't think the decision was that big of a deal, many others unfortunately did, and they wouldn't let the story die. As a result, she felt an obligation to her audience, which at the time included many minors, to be honest about having the work done and why. But as she explained, she wasn't exactly allowed to do so. She wrote on her website Frenchie, "Plastic surgery wasn't culturally accepted then like it is now. When I got it done, I was scrutinized, judged, and made to feel ashamed over my decision." These days, she's able to be as honest about it as she wants, which became evident in 2020, when she underwent surgery to remove breast implants that were causing her health issues. She shared the news with her fans via her Instagram story, captioning a photo of herself, "Got my implants taken out a year ago, got pregnant and now have natural boobs. Life is funny." Friend star Lisa Kudrow believes her rhinoplasty was a life-affirming, if not life-saving procedure.
"Would you relax? I know what I am doing."
In 2013, Kudrow opened up about the insecurities that plagued her when she was young, telling the Saturday Evening Post, "I went from, in my mind, hideous to not hideous. I did it the summer before going to a new high school." Kudrow went on to explain that the timing of the procedure was definitely intentional, as getting the surgery before going to a new school meant that a lot of her classmates had no idea what her original nose looked like. Kudrow added that her entire middle school experience was pretty tough, as she often had to rely on her older sister to have someone to spend time with at school. She explained, "She would find out when our half-days were, when everybody would go out to lunch and I would have no one to eat with." She then went on to praise her older sister for being sensitive and aware of her plight. Lil Wayne's daughter Reginae Carter underwent a breast augmentation in October 2020 and was thrilled with the results. Carter happily discussed the procedure with People the following month, explaining that she chose to undergo the procedure after first asking her mom about it when she was 16 or 17. When she finally made the call, Carter was 21 and old enough to make her own decisions. Carter also told People that despite once publicly stating on Instagram that she had no plans to get implants, she doesn't regret the decision at all. In fact, the new implants make her feel better than ever, as she says the choice was hers to make, adding, "Any enhancement that I wanted to make was my decision. Nobody pressured me. Nobody told me to do this." And most importantly, Carter feels good about who she was before and after the surgery. She added, "I loved myself before the boobs, and I love myself after." In 2007, Gene Simmons and his partner Shannon Tweed decided to get facelifts together, a double procedure that was documented in full on the reality show Gene Simmons' Family Jewels.
Your little fat face.
It's not. That's it. I'm gonna cut off the whole head.
At the time, Simmons told People that the idea wasn't something that he came up with overnight. He had contemplated it for some time. As he said, "I thought about it before. I was aware I had jowls." For her part, Tweed joked that she just didn't want her longtime partner to look any younger than she did, so going under the knife at the same time made sense. Years later, Simmons revisited the experience during an interview with the Sydney Morning Herald. After being asked if he believes other people should get a facelift after he did, Simmons said no. Instead, he believes that people should focus on their own journeys. As he put it, "Everybody's journey should be a personal choice. Don't look over your shoulder while you're running in the race of life. Do the best you can." In a 2015 essay for HuffPost, Modern Family star Reid Ewing revealed that he suffers from body dysmorphic disorder, a condition that causes a person to overly obsess about flaws in their appearance.
It was weird. It was kind of like sometimes I would think I was really handsome and sometimes I would think I was like hideously ugly.
Ewing wrote that at the beginning of his career, he spent a lot of time studying his own face, looking for perceived flaws until one day he decided to do something about what he didn't like. Ewing met with a doctor who agreed to give the then 19-year-old cheek implants. Unfortunately, once he recovered, he discovered the results were horrendous. Ewing went on to add, "The lower half of my cheeks were as hollow as a corpse's," which I know is the opposite of what you'd expect, as they are called cheek implants. Ewing spent the next couple of years getting more and more work done on his face, all while he was working on Modern Family. He explained that for most of the time he was shooting, he transitioned to using fillers and fat transplants instead of surgery and implants. Ewing finally stopped getting work done in 2012. He concluded his essay by revealing that his self-esteem is significantly better now, writing, "I wish I could go back and undo all the surgeries. Now I can see that I was fine to begin with, and didn't need the surgeries after all." Mickey Rourke began his career in Hollywood as an actor in the 1980s, and at the time, he was considered as handsome as Marlon Brando.
That's all there was to it. Any idiot could do it.
But many have noticed that Rourke's looks have changed over the years, and in 2009, Rourke explained to the Daily Mail that his subsequent career as a boxer had a drastic impact on his face. Rourke revealed that his face took a true beating from the people he boxed against, and that he didn't make the best choices when it was time to repair things. As he put it, "Most of it was to mend the mess of my face because of the boxing, but I went to the wrong guy to put my face back together." Rourke then detailed the injuries he's had, which include 5 operations on his nose and 1 on his cheekbone, as well as what it's taken to put his face back together, noting that he once had cartilage taken from an ear to rebuild his nose. In January 2022, comedian and actor Amy Schumer took to Instagram to share some news. She'd recently undergone quite a few procedures, and at least one of them was cosmetic.
I've always wondered what it's like to be undeniably pretty. That's me.
Schumer posted a photo of herself with a caption that explained that, in addition to the cesarean section that brought her son into the world, she'd had a hysterectomy and liposuction performed. Schumer explained, "I never thought I would do anything, but talk to me after your uterus doesn't contract for 2.5 years and you turn 40. Schumer opened up about liposuction in a March 2022 interview with The Hollywood Reporter, sharing with the publication that, for her, getting the work done was just about liking herself. As she said, "It's not about needing to be slamming, because I've never been famous for being hot, but I'd reached a place where I was tired of looking at myself in the mirror." Ariel Winter is another Modern Family star who's had cosmetic surgery, though in her case, she had her natural breasts reduced. Winter eventually opened up about the decision in an interview with Glamour, explaining that she knew something had to change when she was 15 years old and wearing a size F bra. It turns out that Winter isn't the only woman in her family who has had the surgery done. She told the magazine that after spending hours in pain while working on set, she began to speak to her family members about their own experiences. She explained, "A few of my cousins have had breast reductions, so it wasn't a shock when I decided to get one. Luckily, things worked out well for Winter, and she's completely pleased with the results of her surgery." She said, "I can't even really put into words about how amazing it feels to really feel right." Courtney Cox has been very open about her complicated journey with aging.
Thinking I was getting older when I was really young. That's just a bummer, a waste of time.
She's even admitted that she's had some work done here and there to try to slow the process. She told New Beauty that her attitudes about aging stem from her childhood, explaining, "I grew up thinking appearance was the most important thing, that as long as I looked okay, I would be okay, which got me into trouble. On top of that, living under the spotlight of Hollywood for so long took its toll." She added, "Hollywood makes it hard. This business makes it harder." Cox also explained how easy it is to keep adding, quote, layers and layers of cosmetic work to your skin when you work in Hollywood. She said that it's difficult to know when it's too much because of how the process works, explaining, "You have no idea because it's gradual until you go, oh, this doesn't look right." She said that while all of the filler in her face has been dissolved, she hasn't ruled out more work in the future. As she put it, "But they come up with new stuff all the time. It's crazy how many new machines are out there." In December 2009, talk show host Wendy Williams shared a story that surprised some people. She and her 9-year-old son had already discussed the breast augmentation she had 14 years earlier. Williams told people that her son's question startled her. As she put it, "I gagged when my son came and asked me about the implants. But it turns out that he asked the question because of something he had seen on her talk show. So Williams felt she had to own up to the truth." She explained, "Our son did not know I had breast implants, so I sat down and went through plastic surgery with him. And it was great because I was able to let him know that when his dad met me, I was completely natural." She then admitted that she opted to have liposuction performed at the same time as the breast augmentation, and she doesn't regret either decision. In 2013, former child star Amanda Bynes admitted to a whole host of cosmetic procedures, sharing that she had breast augmentation performed and then had her implants removed.
"I feel like half of me is missing."
In addition, she underwent rhinoplasty in May of the same year and wrote in a tweet, "I plan on having surgery on my whole face straight up. I love surgery." In another tweet that has since been deleted, Bynes doubled down on her plans and explained that she'd asked websites and magazines to stop running old photos of her that no longer reflect the person she was post-surgery. As she put it, "I had a nose job to remove skin that was like a webbing in between my eyes. I wasn't going to tell anyone, but I look so much prettier in my new photos that I don't want old photos used anymore." At the time, Bynes claimed that the surgery was, quote, "the most amazing thing for her sense of self-worth," which was backed up by an anonymous source who told Radar Online that the surgery on her nose had drastically increased her confidence. Plenty of fans of the movie Dirty Dancing know that the film star Jennifer Grey underwent a rhinoplasty following the film's release, and that the surgery changed her face so much that some people couldn't recognize her.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
It turns out that no one knows this more than Grey herself, writing in her memoir Out of the Corner that when she got the nose job, she realized she had, quote, "committed an unforgivable crime." Grey went to a consultation about her nose following the release of Dirty Dancing and was told that a deviated septum meant that she was only breathing at 20% capacity. In her memoir, she insists that she asked her surgeon to leave the bump in her nose, but had qualms about the procedure. She wrote, "I was almost 30 and had spent much of my adult life trying to love and accept myself as I was." Ultimately, she went through with it, but she soon noticed that something was wrong with the initial nose job, so she went in to have it repaired. This second surgery proved disastrous, and she was soon unrecognizable to family and friends. In 2007, tabloids were abuzz with rumors that Jennifer Aniston had elected to have a number of cosmetic procedures done. In an interview with People, she laughed off most of the rumors, but did admit to one, rhinoplasty. Explaining that she had the procedure done to correct for medical reasons, she said, "It's funny, I had a deviated septum fixed. Best thing I ever did. I slept like a baby for the first time in years." But when it comes to additional procedures, Aniston insisted that everything else about her body is what she was born with. As she put it, "I really am pretty happy with what God gave me." In 2018, Aniston's representative confirmed to Us Weekly that the star had a second rhinoplasty performed to fix something that went wrong with her 2007 surgery. In 2006, Cameron Diaz opened up about aging in Hollywood and what kind of plastic surgery she could have done in an effort to slow the process. It turns out that Diaz was a pretty big fan of aging as naturally as possible at the time. However, after she broke her nose for the 4th time, she began to consider having it fixed. As she told W Magazine, she first considered the idea on the advice of her doctor. She explained that she didn't let the doctor straighten her nose when he wanted to, until ultimately she said, "So I'm over it. I'm getting it fixed. I can't take it. I cannot breathe at all. One side of my nose is totally shattered." Eventually, she went through with the rhinoplasty, which she admitted to in her 2016 book Longevity. Beyond that though, she hasn't had much done. Well, besides trying Botox, but only once, as she told ET.
"It changed my face into such a weird way that I was like, no, I don't want to like I'd rather see myself.
Jillian Michaels has built a career in the fitness and wellness industry, so some might have been surprised by her 2020 admission that she underwent rhinoplasty at the age of 16. However, Michaels told People that opting into the surgery was a game changer for her, explaining, "I had my nose done when I was 16 years old, and I'll be honest, it did change my life." Michaels also added that she had to deal with bullies for years before she decided to get the nose work done. She concluded the interview by pointing out that while cosmetic surgery might not be for everyone, she supports it if getting work done helps someone feel more confident. Ultimately, for Michaels, plastic surgery is about why you do it and for whom. Ashlee Simpson has never directly admitted to undergoing any kind of cosmetic surgery, though it's widely believed that she had a rhinoplasty performed in 2006. Despite the fact that Simpson doesn't seem to feel comfortable outright saying she has or hasn't had work done, she did tell Us Weekly that it's pretty obvious that she has. As she put it, "I think as long as people have two eyes, then you probably know the answer." Experts also agree that Simpson underwent rhinoplasty. Los Angeles-based surgeon's office, Ronsley Plastic Surgery, writes that it appears Simpson had the cartilage and bone on the bridge of her nose cut off, which will ultimately result in a narrower, smaller nose with a straight profile. And while the tip of Simpson's nose appears to have changed, the office isn't so sure. They noted, "Ashlee's new perkier tip is mostly an optical illusion. Her tip has also been refined by debulking some of the tip cartilages." On July 3, 2021, Bachelorette star Clare Crawley made a big announcement on her Instagram. She decided to have her breast implants removed. Crawley shared a video in which she detailed a myriad of health issues that all seem to be linked to her implants: an elevated white blood count, an itchy rash, and ultimately, the discovery of sacs of fluid behind her implants.
It's hard sometimes pretending like things are okay when you know you're not doing okay.
She explained, "As much as I love my implants, my body is fighting them and recognizes it as something obviously foreign in my body. As much as I loved having these, this is so important to me that I love my health more." Crawley isn't the only one linking breast implants to these troubling symptoms. The FDA has recorded a number of symptoms that can be tied to implants, including an itchy rash like the one Crawley experienced. In July 2021, fashion designer Marc Jacobs revealed to his Instagram followers that he had elected to undergo a facelift. In his typical forthright way, Jacobs shared the news by posting a photo of his heavily bandaged head on Instagram. Jacobs continued to post photos documenting his recovery, offering transparency that most celebrities try to avoid. As Vogue noted at the time by sharing photos of what really happens after you have a facelift, the designer was actually educating his social media audience on the procedure. The outlet also noted that Jacobs' procedure was performed by New York's Dr. Andrew Giacono, who uses a modern technique that leaves the skin of the face on the muscle as it's lifted. Dr. Giacono praised his client for being open about having work done. As he told Vogue, "When someone of Mark's status is sharing, it helps people realize that there are things we all can do to maintain ourselves and enhance our appearance." In a 2016 essay for Refinery29, actor Stephanie March explained the steps that led to her decision to undergo a breast augmentation. As she wrote, "She went to the hospital for an emergency appendectomy in November 2013, had further surgery for endometriosis in December of the same year, and by the following year, had decided to get breast implants." As March went on to write, she can retroactively see that getting breast implants at that point was not the best decision for her. There were so many things in her life that were, in her words, disintegrating: her 10-year marriage, her work, and more. She added, "I decided to try one last thing, and what I did next was exactly what you are not supposed to do when it comes to plastic surgery. I decided to change my body because I couldn't change my life." Unfortunately, one of her breasts became infected within weeks, and she had to have the implant removed. In doing so, March found out that she was allergic to the implants themselves. Ultimately, she had the implants removed on the advice of her doctor. March concluded her piece, "Every day, the evidence of all that happened fades a little more, and my year of living terribly recedes into memory. All that I had, all that I was, from the beginning, was all I needed to be."